Let's talk about racism and the Democratic Party. The Democratic Party started the Civil War to keep African Americans as slaves. You want to battle systemic racism? Leave the Democratic Party. Every American, black, white, gay, straight, has a civil right to both political parties. The idea that the Republican Party is racist is nothing more than voter intimidation on behalf of masses party. That's right, I call him masses party because Joe Biden is a racist. The Democratic Party is the party of systemic racism. They started the Civil War. They started the Ku Klux Klan. They're the ones that created white-only bathrooms, white-only water fountains. Now they've created a white-only party, which is their opposition party, the Republican Party. Stand up to racism. Become a Republican. Remember, the Republican Party was born on a moral intolerance for slavery. Every African American has a civil right to be a Republican. Stand up to bigotry. Stand up to bullying. Become a Republican. And to the Republican Party, reach out to the African American community. Tell the African American community the Republican Party is your home. And let's take a look at something Trump could do right now. If you look at the Communist Manifesto, one of the goals is to break up the traditional family. When you look at the Democratic welfare system, they have a household income set so low that if you have a working man in the house, you can't get health care, food, medical assistance. You basically can't get help if you have a man with a job. Help put black families back together. Change household income to individual income so a mother could live with a man with a job and keep her benefits for her and her child. In addition, raise those benefits up and give her a 2-year window to make more money and to keep her benefits. Yes, more people would be on benefits, but more families would come back together. You'd put black men back into black homes. Black fathers would be part of their children's lives. And there's a lot of white people on welfare too. The welfare system has broken up a lot of white families just like they've done to African American families. It's also broken up a lot of Native American families and Asian families and Latino families. Communism destroys families. It's one of the goals of the Communist Manifesto, and we need to stand up to it. Trump needs to change the welfare requirements from household income to individual income. Double the individual income, allowed income. In addition, let there be a 2-year transition from when you get a raise to when you lose your benefits. And once again, eliminate that household income. You want to put families back together. You want children in a home with a working man. And I don't discriminate against lesbians or gays. If your working man happens to be a female, that is your spouse. I call it the baby daddy bill. So I want to put working adults in the homes with children who need it. And whether your baby daddy is a male or your baby dad is a female, I don't care. It's the second income in the house. It's somebody getting up and working 40 hours a week and having that second income, having that help with the children. That's the important thing. And the welfare system specifically stops that. And Trump, with an executive order, can change it, and the Republican Party needs to reach out. I call it the baby daddy bill, and this will bring African Americans, particularly African American women, to the Republican Party. And also, I always point out the Democrats are the racists. The Democrats started the Civil War. The Democrats started the Ku Klux Klan. The Democratic Party is systemic racism. The Democratic Party should be abolished. The Democratic Party should change their name and apologize to black people for slavery, for starting the Civil War for slavery, for starting the Ku Klux Klan to intimidate and destroy black communities. And they need to apologize for a welfare system that specifically separates black fathers from black children and breaks up black homes. Now, Trump needs to run on race, on the racism of Joe Biden, of the racism of the Democratic Party. When you look at how black people are treated in Democratic schools, not educated, they're just filled with hate, this racial hatred is coming from the Democratic Party, because hatred and intimidation and white privilege is how the Democrats control the African American community and a lot of white women. White women are filled with so much white guilt, driven by the party of racism, which is the Democratic Party. The Democratic Party owes America an apology. The Democratic Party owes African Americans an apology. And if you're black, ask yourself, why am I in the party of slavery? Why am I in the party of the Ku Klux Klan? Why am I being intimidated by these racist Democrats? And Joe Biden, the guy that passed the law that made crack a mandatory minimum, well, powdered cocaine carries no mandatory minimum. Crack carries a mandatory minimum. You got a couple of grams of crack, you're going to prison for a decade. You got a couple of grams of powdered cocaine, man, you don't even need to get probation. You can be let go on that one. Oh, by the way, his kid's a cokehead. His kid's out either snorting it or smoking it. Guess who's not doing a mandatory minimum? Hunter Biden. Hunter Biden got kicked out of the military for testing positive for cocaine. Did he go to the brig? No, he went to China and came back with a $1.5 million bribe from the Chinese government to buy American military technology, particularly stealth technology. Technology we paid hundreds of billions of dollars to develop. Him and his daddy sold to the Chinese on the cheap because he tested positive for coke and got kicked out of the military. If he was a black man that got caught with a rock, he'd be looking at a mandatory 10 years because of Joe Biden. Joe Biden is a racist, a bigot, and a child molester. Anybody that votes for Joe Biden is a racist. Anybody in the Democratic Party is a racist. The Democratic Party is the party of racism. The Democratic Party are the party of child molesters. You're listening to Tim. This is mypresidenttrump.com. Remember, the Democratic Party is the party of racism. The Democratic Party is the party that started the Civil War. The Ku Klux Klan, Joe Biden is a racist, a bigot, and a child molester. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. And remember, support mypresidenttrump.com and vote Trump 2020. Vote Republicans. Every single American has a civil right to both political parties, and the African American community has a right to be a Republican. The Republican Party is the party of civil rights. We passed an amendment to give black men the right to vote. We passed a constitutional amendment that made slaves and the children of slaves full U.S. citizens. The Republican Party is the party of civil rights. And it's time the Republican Party remembers what it's founded for, and it's time for us to reach out to the African American community, the gay community, and come on. The Republican Party is the party of civil rights. And the African American community, get the hell away from the Democrats. Come join the Republicans, and don't ask. Come on in. Join, run, donate, volunteer, door knock, become a Republican. The Republican Party abolished slavery. Don't let the Republican Party forget what it was founded on. We need you. You want to save your country? Become a Republican. I'm Tim. You're listening to mypresidenttrump.com. Thank you.